Good morning. Welcome here in the sanctuary. Welcome online to the Sunday service of the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg. We're on land that was stolen from the Tocobaga and Seminole Indigenous Americans. The Jewish feast of Sukkot is happening this week. Next week, Hindus celebrate Diwali, and yesterday was National Coming Out Day. Yes, I'm still bisexual. My name is Ben, my pronouns are he and they, and I'm excited to bring you today's worship service, Indigenous Peoples Day, with music by Todd Wellman and the UU St. Pete Bell Choir, along with today's worship associate, Sandra Moss. Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, Ben. Thank you. As Ben said, my name is Sandra, and my pronouns are she and her. If you want a church where everyone is worthy of love, I have good news. You may have found your church home. And because we believe everyone is worthy of love, I'd like to extend that sentiment to include our welcoming the unique energy that children bring to our services. Please be mindful of short attention spans and movement that people of all ages have, and children in particular, and give grace and acceptance so that all may feel welcome.
Speaking of grace and acceptance, there's a lot of folks who make this worship service happen. Usually Sophie is our live streamer, so I want to thank Kat for volunteering to do the live streaming. We got it to work. We had to jumpstart it a little with some jumper cables, and I will be your sound engineer today as well as your minister. We usually only have one or two verbal announcements. Today we have 6, and that will never happen again. The first one's about our next new member class. It'll be held on Saturday, November 15th from 10 to 4. Lunch is included, so if you've been thinking about making UU St. Pete your spiritual home, stop by the fellowship table out there during coffee hour to sign up. Membership is how we commit to this community and to one another.
And I would like to let everyone know where the bathrooms are, where they're located in our building, and as well as the type of bathrooms that we have. To my right, through that door, is a single toilet bathroom that is open to anyone. And in the hallway past the kitchen is a gender-neutral bathroom, actually 2 of them, with several stalls in each bathroom. And in Conway Hall, between the classrooms and the office, is another single toilet bathroom that's also open to anyone. Now, in an effort to help everyone feel welcome, safe, and acknowledged, we have these bathrooms available for all to use.
Thanks, Sandra. We got an anonymous note about those last week, so we thought we should explain that. If anyone wants to come talk to me about this, I'd be happy to. Next announcement is from the social justice team. Quote, "The president thinks his rule is absolute. But in America, we don't have kings, and we won't back down against chaos, corruption, and cruelty. Grow our movement and join other members of UU St. Pete in demanding that the U.S. Constitution be adhered to." Next Saturday, October 18th. So this is next Saturday, October 18th, 9:30 to 11. Wear your UU St. Pete t-shirt if you have one. Make a sign. Join us at Tyrone Mall outside along 66th Street. It's Tyrone Boulevard and 22nd Avenue at 66 North. And you can talk to Kimberly. Is Kimberly here? You can talk to Kimberly in the back with her hand up for more details.
And then we have an announcement where we need your help. And this is for the nursery. We are in the process of hiring someone to work in the nursery. And in the meantime, we're asking members to volunteer for a Sunday. Today we have Rebecca Wilson, and she's in the nursery. And we'd like to know who would like to volunteer for next Sunday. You can let Rebecca or Morgan Grisham know. So thank you very much for considering helping out there.
Anyone want to? Anyone? Next one.
And there is a hired staff that will be working with you.
Yes. So our fall fundraiser season starts today with a variety of mingles to consider. Mingles are events that are hosted by members, including a walking ghost tour, a folk music sing-along, build a wreath workshop, and others. And also, beginning today, you can buy tickets for, did we find those tickets? I think we found the tickets, and so you can buy the tickets for the 4th annual Broadway Review Cabaret All of them can be purchased after service in Gilmore Hall or anytime online. 100% of the ticket sales go to our general fund.
And finally, once again from the Social Justice Team, we are going to have a community conversation on immigration reform, the need and possibilities. This will be Thursday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. right here at UU St. Pete. And there will be a board of experts that will be having that community conversation with us. Please read the rest of your announcements in your order of service. We also have a monthly newsletter you can sign up for, and they're on the TVs in Gilmore and throughout the buildings. You can see that during coffee hour. Now, I see some new faces, so I'll let you know that as Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, but we do share a common faith that every being is worthy of love, that what we do in this world matters, and that we are connected to one another and to the earth. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. And allow me to give a special welcome to any newcomers. If you are new to UU St. Pete, or even relatively new, can you give us a wave? Welcome. And if you'd like to, there's no pressure here, but if you would like to, please briefly introduce yourself. Ben will bring the microphone to you so that those on YouTube can hear what you're saying. You're under no obligation to say anything, but if you're willing, we'd love to hear from you. You could just raise your hand. The little one's waving. Should I bring the microphone to them? I'll take any hand up that I can. Hi, honey. Do you want to introduce yourself? Are you shy now that the mic is here? Say hi, I'm Wilder. Hi, I'm Wilder. It's very nice to meet you. Welcome. You guys want to add to that? Hi. I'm Ryan.
Hi, I'm Heather.
Welcome.
You guys. And yep.
Hi. Okay. I'm Kathy from Gulfport.
Welcome, Kathy from Gulfport, my neighbor.
Thank you for sharing.
There's one more.
One more, yay.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Emily.
Welcome, Emily. Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, and there's a fourth. There's a fourth.
I'm Kim.
I'm Maxine, her mom.
Welcome.
Maxine, Mom and Kim, welcome both of you.
Yay.
Brief introductions.
Now we'll be sure. So, and thank you for silencing your cell phones. Regarding masks, we encourage you to wear one as you are comfortable. And now is a favorite time of all, time for us to turn and greet our neighbors. So say hello to someone new today, and please remember to get consent if you're going to hug or shake hands. Greet your neighbors. No.
Okay, who has the last one in the script?
That is Me. So for Michael Fitzgerald is the last one.
So it's you? Okay, then I'll read the one I got.
Thank you.
Let us sing our children to their classrooms.
Clap if you can hear me. Thank you.
Let's sing the children to their classrooms. Happy trails. Happy trails to you until we meet again.
Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
When Todd is our accompanist, we sing Happy Trails. Please rise as you're willing and able for our first hymn. It's When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, number 1008 in the Teal Hymnal.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power in each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
Please remain standing for our chalice lighting. Our flaming chalice is a reminder that we choose to focus here together for this time, and that we believe this time is sacred. When Earl Waters lights our chalice, I invite you to say our covenant out loud. The words are in the programs, and you can do two hand movements, hand to your heart, and hands reaching out like you're serving. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. You may be seated.
We come to a time in our worship for joys, sorrows, and concerns. Those of you on YouTube Live are not in this room, but your presence is still felt. Please type your joys and sorrows into the text chat. And if you have a joy, sorrow, or concern to submit during the week, please write to Reverend Ben at minister@uustpete.org. Right now,
John, I can go to Sandra.
Right now we have Joe Weidman, who will place a stone in the water for each one that was submitted this week. And if you have additional cards that you filled out to bring up, please do so at this time, or ask a neighbor to bring yours up for you. First, we have a stone of joy from Liz Ryland. She says, "Sadly, I'm back in the hospital after a fall. Luckily, Joe Weidman has been a fabulous friend and helper with his professional medical experience and the heart of an angel.
Thank you, Joe. Now, each week we appreciate someone or someones who have worked hard to accomplish our mission here at the church. And this week we have a stone of joy for our hardworking Director of Religious Education and Communications, Janae Johnson. She's not here today, but many of you know how hard she works, along with her religious education staff. And turn this down, Sophie, who is our live streamer and our usual soundboard operator. Janae's taking a much-needed break for the next few weeks. Please contact me or any member of the religious education team if you have any questions.
And a stone of joy and gratitude for the president of our Unitarian Universalist Association, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. And another stone for our UUA staff and leaders, especially the staff from the UUA Southern Region office.
A stone of gratitude from Sandra Lewis. Her friend Jassy celebrates another birthday after a long health battle.
A stone of concern from Michael Fitzgerald, who is afraid our republic might be over.
And along those lines, a stone of concern also for the state of our democracy from Kimberly, who I pointed out in the back. Kimberly says, I have 30 protest signs for October 18th. If you come without a sign, you can borrow one, but please return it so I can take it to the next protest.
And a stone of concern for Ruth Bentley. Ruth fell on Monday and fractured her humerus at the shoulder socket and her pelvis. The risk of surgery was too much. She should be moved to Menorah Manor today. And after rehab, the plan is to enter hospice, either at a hospice house or to home if she is stabilized. In the next few days, we will figure out a sign-up process for those who want to visit her. We will post the information on the members' Facebook page, and we hope that she can be as comfortable as possible for the remainder of her time with us.
So John, our blessings to you and to your mom and to the rest of your family. Let's place a final stone. That's for those joys, concerns, and sorrows that remain in our hearts. Maybe they're too tender to be spoken out loud, and may all of us find a comforting and compassionate presence in the warmth of fellowship and community. This is often the part where we do our responsive reading, but we're going to do that later. For now, the mystery is that we are not feeding back. The mystery is that we are connected even when we feel apart. So let's rejoice in our beloved community that makes of the many one. And let's take about a minute of silence together.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Thank you all so much for being here today as we recognize Indigenous Peoples Day. Yes, I am an Indigenous person from the Lakota, or in English, Sioux tribe. My tribe comes from the plains and mostly in the Dakotas. And I'd like to share a little bit about my tribe, and in particular, how I can relate my culture and native values to UU values. And as we know, at the core of our UU values is love. The parallel between this core value and that of Indigenous people is very apparent in the love of family, community, and the natural world. Indigenous religious beliefs are oftentimes referred to as earth religions due to the reverence for the natural world. And we cannot talk about or explore Native cultures and religions without seeing it from the perspective of interdependence of people with each other and the natural world, which is also a UU value. Many of my people's beliefs, legends, and traditions are rooted in the natural world and how it relates to us as a people. For instance, the creation stories. The Lakota, like other tribal nations, has many versions of a creation story, but they all involve Wakantanka, great mystery or great spirit, and being the supreme creative power in the universe who made all things and so caused us all to be related as a family, whether human, animal, plant, spirit, or element. One's relatives were all living things. And here we see that parallel to the UU value of interdependence again. There are many different traditions and practices in Native culture. There's one called a sweat lodge. And this is a Native American spiritual ritual that I've taken part in. And in this sweat lodge, we have 4 doors, which is where the participants enter and exit the lodge during the ceremony. In one door, we offer a prayer to all our relations, hereby acknowledging and welcoming all who came before us, all who are with us, and all who are to come, because we are all related or connected. In the sweat lodge ceremony, rocks are heated in a fire outside the lodge in preparation for the ceremony. The rocks are brought in the lodge a few at a time, and the number that are brought in is significant, and the leader shares that with the group. The rocks are put into a pit that's in the middle of the lodge, and periodically throughout the ceremony, the leader pours ladles of water over the rocks, which produces steam into the lodge. Now there's complete darkness in the lodge, and while you cannot see with your eyes, you are able to see with your other senses. In one door, the prayer leader offered was for all negativity and evil entities to leave the lodge because they just weren't welcome here. It's a sacred space. When I was in that lodge, when he prayed that prayer, at that moment, I felt a coolness come up through my chest, into my throat, out my mouth, and I saw it fly out the door. And in that moment, I knew it was the negative energy of my mother that was attached to me. There was no place for that in the lodge. At another point during the ceremony, I turned to my right where my daughter Katie was seated, and I could see the outline of a window with light streaming through it. At the conclusion of that round, when we came out of the lodge, I shared that vision with the leader, and he helped me interpret it. Our understanding was that Katie was not only a light in my life, but a window to deeper healing and understanding with boundless possibilities. Katie was about 10 years old at that time. She's now 39, and I can attest she is not only a light in my life, but she truly has been a window to deeper healing and understanding of myself, our relationships in general, and my purpose in life. In preparation for the sweat lodge ceremony that day, we were building the fire and building an altar where tobacco was offered, as tobacco is a sacred herb in Native culture. And we were also talking, spending time together as a community, and it was a prayerful, meditative, intentional manner. The conversation turned to healings, and I shared that Katie had been suffering with migraine headaches for several years, and we had not been able to find relief for it other than her lying down in a dark room and just waiting for it to pass. And the Native women at the ceremony shared with me that we could participate in a healing ceremony for her, which we of course readily agreed to. And it was explained to me that women are natural healers because of our ability to give life. And when we come together, powerful healings can occur. So the women gathered in a circle around Katie without touching her, and one of the women led us in a chant while we walked in one direction, holding hands. We then changed directions, still holding hands, chanting again. And at one point, I looked at Katie. She was levitating off the ground by several inches. Nobody touching her. That was almost 30 years ago. Katie has never had a migraine since. I participated in another sweat lodge in Minnesota when there was snow on the ground, and the contrast between the heat in the lodge and the snow when we came outside was incredible. I spent some time alone after that sweat, and when I walked into the house and shut the door, I could hear native drums and native singing that was not coming from this world, but from another. And when I traveled to Minnesota, I had a sense of belonging and being home that I have never felt anywhere. I've lived in California, New York, Mississippi, Tennessee, and now Florida. And while I'm comfortable and enjoy anywhere I'm living, it was in the Midwest, where my people come from, that I had that deep sense of being home. A sense of belonging and being in relationship with the land, the water, or many lakes, the animals, and the people that I've not felt anywhere else. And that statement may make you wonder, why am I here? Well, while I felt comfortable and at home there, my belief is that my journey in life has brought me here to continue and deepen my spiritual life and understanding. Being on the native lands of my ancestors gave me a wonderful sense of grounding and belonging, which I can take with me and hold within me. That deep sense of where I come from contributes to my sense of who I am, my place in the world, and my purpose. As a Native woman, I see myself as a healer. So it's natural that I chose to become a mental health therapist and a Reiki practitioner. The combination of a grounding in Native American spirituality and Unitarian Universalist values gives me the freedom to explore and discover all that I am here on this earth to do. The UU value of transformation, which can also be stated as our covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritage, never complete and never perfect. I find this value parallels strongly with the Native beliefs and practices in ceremonies which foster transformation. The sweat lodge, healing oneself on a spiritual, emotional, and physical level to transform to a higher level of being than before you entered the ceremony. Native ceremonies help open us up to the natural healing, to the gifts of this world and the next, and to be in harmony. Harmony with ourselves, our loved ones, our enemies, and our natural world. Transformation as openness to change, never complete, never perfect, allowing for our humanity, embracing it, grateful for a world that never stands still and encourages change. And as we are changing, transforming, we can give ourselves and others grace and compassion through the expression of the UU value of generosity. That value can be restated as our cultivating a spirit of gratitude and hope. Our covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Now, I got those words from the website of another UU congregation, the All Peoples Congregation in Louisville, Kentucky. These words resonated with me and helped me understand the value of generosity a little bit more, and also how it parallels with Native American beliefs. A large part of Native American culture, beliefs, and practices are based on community and family, mutual aid, or generosity. Native Americans have traditionally lived communally, sharing resources, presence, and faith, as stated in the UU value of generosity. And then the UU value of equity, that was also on the All Peoples Congregation website, stated it as our declaration that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. Our covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. Native beliefs support inherent dignity and worthiness, as many practices are bringing the person back to relationship with the Creator, who in this belief system created us with dignity and as worthwhile beings to be cherished and loved. The smudging, where we burn sacred herbs to produce smoke that cleanses us in the space of negativity, so that what remains is positive energy, and by extension, the sacred positive core of self that is to be cherished and valued. The UU value of pluralism, again restated by the All Peoples Congregation, we celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. In my native culture, there is a deep belief that we are all sacred beings, and we recognize the diversity in all creation and work towards harmony and understanding because we acknowledge the interdependence of all beings, and our survival is dependent on our ability to build on how we can best help one another. The UU value of justice speaks to the how of our work together to be a beloved community. How do we resolve our conflicts, see our commonalities, work towards inclusivity? This is important to the survival of our world because it is in positivity, love, and inclusiveness that we are able to be stronger. Allowing conflicts and differences to take center stage detracts from who we are at our core, how we can be in relationship, and creates a culture of fear and the erroneous belief of scarcity. When we fear that we won't have enough of anything, be it love, money, or food, we focus on our differences to justify taking from one another. No longer seeing that we are interdependent and sacred beings, but needing to see the other to be able to take from them without guilt and justify harmful acts against each other. If I see your sacredness, your holiness, the incredible beauty of your being, I can't harm you. I have to blind myself to that truth and attach negative beliefs to those differences and focus on that to be able to elevate myself as more deserving than you and thereby take from you and harm you. And why would I want to do that? I believe it's fear that allows people to do this. And how can we overcome fear? Through curiosity. Let me learn more about you. Let me be curious about what is different from me and celebrate it. See it as a strength rather than something to fear. As I come to know and understand our differences, I no longer have to fear it because it's no longer an unknown. Yes, we are different. I am a brown woman in a largely white male-dominated society, but we also share many things in common. We are all human. We all have a need and a desire for connection, belonging, and acceptance. We all have the capacity to give these to one another. I invite you to practice curiosity about our world, our neighbors, our differences, and I invite you to lean into your fears and grow beyond them to discover the beauty that is there. I invite you to practice joy. It is here in the everyday, in what we can see, hear, feel, and touch. So thank you all for coming today, for listening to me, and for considering what I have to say. I'm grateful to be part of this beloved community. I see beauty when I look at you all. I invite you to see the same.
It's my first time conducting, so any mistakes were mine, not theirs. Thank you, Bell Choir. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Sandra. Sandra, you honor us on Indigenous Peoples Day and every day by sharing your experiences as an Indigenous woman. We're so lucky to have you here. This is the second October worship on our monthly theme of cultivating compassion. And last week, John and I talked about the work of cultivating compassion. Who was there last week, right? Who remembers the steps of that work? You cultivate compassion first for yourself, exactly. Top marks. And then you go for others, especially others who are like us or not like us? Not like us. Especially those who are not like us. Because if we just cultivate compassion for those like us, it's bigotry. Remember? We talked about Horst Wessel and Sergei Kirov, whom Stalin and Hitler respectively weaponized the compassion for these two people who were killed. We also touched on the Buddhist metta for loving kindness. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be at peace. And we wish this for ourselves and then someone we love, exactly. And next, for someone neutral. And then finally, someone we don't like. It's sometimes called our enemies. So the October theme of cultivating compassion is very relevant to Indigenous Peoples Day for reasons Sandra taught us. As Sandra pointed out, Indigenous spiritual practices relate to our 7 UU principles, but Indigenous Peoples Day also relates to last week's topic, which is why I did a little bit of work to bring you back to last week. I have a white Italian-American friend, and years ago, I made a social media post about Columbus, and he responded with a comment on that post, and he said, "Oh, here we go with the Columbus bashing." The Columbus bashing. Now, I want to give a trigger warning here. The post I made was a translation from Columbus's diary, where he describes the indigenous Taino people in racist and objectifying terms. In his diary, Columbus noted, quote, "their innocence and ignorance of weapons," describing them as, quote, "fairly tall, good-looking, and well-proportioned. Columbus decided they would be easily exploited and would, quote, make good slaves, for they are of quick intelligence." So most of the comments on the post expressed horror at Columbus's racism. Several spoke about the European enslavement and genocide of indigenous people that followed Columbus's voyages. So having my white friend refer to, quote, Columbus bashing in the middle of this discussion was jarring. It refocused the attention on his experience as an Italian American rather than the experience of indigenous people, which was previously being centered. The argument became, is Ben bashing Columbus or not, which centered whiteness and the experience of two white men, me and him. Now here's the thing. I love this guy. If you're watching on YouTube, I love you, bro. I really have compassion for him. I've known him for years, but just because you have compassion for someone doesn't mean you hand them the microphone. Our theology teaches us to value all beings, so when our governor orders that I be arrested for praying on a mural that said Black History Matters, I try to have love in my heart for him, but that doesn't mean I do what he tells me to. And when we're escorting at the abortion clinic and the other side is yelling at us, is yelling at the patients for coming to their appointments, I try to find my love in my heart for those who are yelling. Their theology is different from mine, and I know that. They believe in a punishing God who sends people like me to hell. Probably all of you too. It's not my theology, but I do support their right to believe it. That's pluralism. That's one of the UU values Sandra mentioned. I am connected to the people yelling at me, to our governor. I'm connected spiritually. Sandra talked about their sacredness, their holiness. I'm connected to them physically. We literally breathe the same air. Scientists tell us there's molecules in my lungs right now that was in DeSantis' lungs. Ooh. I have compassion for my Italian-American friend, and I still tell the truth about Columbus. I still tell the truth about indigenous people, about European enslavement and genocide, and I still center indigenous voices whenever I can. Sandra's experiences in sweat lodges and indigenous healing ceremonies are gifts for those of us, especially in the room, who are not indigenous. They are ours to treasure. They are not ours to debate. When we tell our story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. Speaking of centering indigenous voices, I will share the words of local indigenous leader and friend of the church, Sheridan Murphy. Sheridan says that for decades, Florida AIM is the American Indian Movement. Florida AIM has demonstrated against the Columbus statues in Florida from Miami to Pensacola, successfully causing St. Petersburg to finally remove theirs. I'll close with quite a few words from, quote, relentless indigenous woman, as she is known online. But first I need a little water. The words of relentless indigenous woman. Sometimes, she says, I go on a little field trip to the right-wing side of social media, a type of field research, if you will. She says, here's what I notice. They speak the same way about the left as the left does the right. Both sides posture as liberators, but both remain bound to the same colonial script. Divide the world into binaries, declare who owns, quote, truth, and treat the other as incorrigible. That's why, she says, if you listen closely, the right and the left sound like mirrors of each other. Both sides cast each other as emotionally broken, intellectually dishonest, and beyond hope. Political psychology calls this mirror image perception. The mirror is intentional, shaped by colonial logic. The right and left may disagree about content, but the structure, she says, is identical. One side possesses truth, the other denies it. One is enlightened, the other ignorant. This is the colonial binary at work. The same binary that once justified empire, civilized, savage, rational, irrational, good, evil, now replays itself in partisan politics. Both sides are still standing on colonial ground. When we accept the mirror, she says, we inherit the colonial script. We start to believe that the struggle is about who is right, instead of how colonial violence continues unchallenged. The right is not interested in equal ground, it seeks domination. The left, meanwhile, often mistakes inclusion within colonial systems as liberation. Both positions leave the system intact. Both drain our energies into a hall of mirrors. True liberation, she says, requires a refusal to keep playing by colonial rules of debate and recognition. Here's 4 ways she has to refuse the colonial game. 1, refuse the binary. Stop performing inside colonial categories of light, dark, civilized, savage, rational, irrational. Our truths are not possessions to wield against others. They are relations we live into. Along those lines, 2 is reclaim relational ground. Center worldviews where knowledge is carried through story, relationality, kinship, and accountability, not through conquest of an opponent. 3, stop feeding extraction. Debating people who deny our humanity is not liberation, it's depletion. Your precious energy belongs in building. And finally, build forward. Our compassion is not owed to those who weaponize denial. It belongs to our own people and to those willing to walk in real solidarity. Compassion here means refusing to let colonial rage shape our direction. The right and the left may hurl the same insults, she says, but neither offers a way out. One clings to domination, the other polishes recognition. And this, I feel like, is something what Sandra and I talked about when she gave me the feedback. We used to say we are on land, the unceded lands of the Tocobaga and Seminole people. And can I say what you said? And Sandra told me that every time she heard that, it felt like she was being patted on the head. Polishing recognition. That's why we changed it to stolen land. Back to the words of, sorry, I don't remember her name. Relentless Indigenous woman. One clings to domination, the other polishes recognition, and both are still colonial politics. Our energy is being used as currency right now. Every reaction in defense pulls us into their mirror. Our energy is extracted and redirected to sustain the very system that we resist. But decolonization means refusing that extraction, means being conscious of where you're placing your energy, because as we continue on the path of resistance, your energy matters. A lot of you are tired right now. You've told me this. Decolonization, she says, no, I said that. Decolonization, she says, no, don't let colonial politics distract you. Don't let them drain you, she says. Step away from the mirror. Refuse the binary. Place your energy where it multiplies, into relation, into resistance, into futures built on our own terms. She says truth is not something they can own. It is something we live. Amen. Ashe. And blessed be. Oh, that's sorry. All right now.
We eat fruit from trees planted long before we are born. May we plant seeds that bear fruit long after we're gone. In the sanctuary, the offering will now be given and received.
That which is given in love is received with great joy. Thank you.
It is now time for our responsive reading from our community covenant. The words can be found in your order of service. Participants in the UU St. Pete community come together out of a common belief that what we do in this world matters.
Love is the spirit of this church,
and service is its law.
Since a healthy and vibrant community depends on our adherence to a common congregational covenant, we expect all community participants to commit to the following practices as part of our great covenant. To seek the truth in love, I will approach differences of perspective and opinion with curiosity and patience.
I will seek to avoid stereotypes, assumptions, and judgments. I will participate in healthy debate, learn something from others, even those with whom I disagree.
I recognize that I am an imperfect individual and will sometimes fall short of this covenant. I commit to try my very best
to live its aspirations. Together, we will all work to build our beloved community.
Now please rise as you're willing and able for our closing hymn. It's a new one for us, Busca el Amor. It's number 1004 in the Teal hymnal.
And because, is this good? Good sound? Because this is new for us, we're going to start in the middle of page 2. I'm going to teach you your English part, which starts with the word seek out the love. And then you'll see I'll start with a Spanish introduction each time we sing that. But let's sing that from page 2 to start us for the first time. Seek out the love in you and find the joy that comes to those who care. Seek out the love in you. It only grows whenever it is shared. Seek out the love in you, in you. And that's how it goes. Revisa tu corazón, halla el amor en un rincón, para buscar el amor, ni pasar ni pasión el amor. Lo que hace al otro bien, seek out the love in you, and find the joy that comes to those who care. Seek out the love in you. It only grows whenever it is shared. Seek out the love in you, in you. Registra tu camellón cuando cambia el color del corazón y te estalla el flor, un pétalo del sol, el amor. Lo que hace al otro bien, seek out the love in you and find the joy that comes to those who care. Seek out the love in you. It only grows whenever it is shared. Seek out the love in you, in you.
You may be seated. Thank you, Todd.
In the Lakota culture, we express the concept of compassion through wisdom, generosity, and the understanding that all living things are connected. With this in mind, I would like to close with a Lakota saying, "What you give away, you keep. What you keep, you lose." Now please remain seated as Todd plays our postlude.
From the day we arrive on this planet and blinking step into the sun, there's more to be seen than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. Some say eat or be eaten. Some say live and let live. But all are agreed as they join the stampede. You should never take more than you give in the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's the leap of faith. It's the band of hope. Till we find our place on the path unwinding in the circle of life. Some of us fall by the wayside, and some of us soar to the stars, and some of us sail through our troubles, and some have to live with the scars. There's far too much to take in here, more to find than can ever be found. But the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky keeps great and small on the endless round in the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's the leap of faith. It's the band of hope. Till we find our place on the path unwinding in the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's a leap of faith. It's the band of hope. Till we find our place on the path unwinding in the circle of life. On the path unwinding in the circle of life.
Todd Wellman.
Oh, how incredible. Thank you, Todd. We invite you to follow along with the hand gestures as we extinguish our chalice. Please extinguish our flame. The light of truth, the warmth of love, and the fire of courage. As Earl extinguishes our chalice, the words to use St. Pete's traditional chalice extinguishing are in your order of service. We extinguish this flame,
but
not the light of truth,
the warmth of love, or the fire of courage.
These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.
That was a lot. Thank you for bearing with us. We have a lovely lake right across if you need that. Otherwise, I hope you come right there to Gilmore Hall because we'll feed you coffee. Our worship is over, but our service begins. If you see someone in there, by the way, not talking to anyone, maybe go talk to them. And we hope this time together will help you. We'll help you through your week. We'll help you remember you were not alone. Blessings, friends.